Hey guys, Victoria here, and welcome back to the Geeky Sandbox. Today we're going to be doing a non-spoiler review over The Boys Season 3, the full season. I knew The Boys was happening and I was super fascinated by the whole thing, everything surrounded by it, whether it was like a comic, whether it was just some sort of like short little mini series spin-off thing, which by the way, you guys should watch The Boys Diabolical, which is also available on Amazon Prime Video if you have not. Just about 8 episodes, I believe, and each episode is around 14 to like 16 minutes. All very good, unique, directed by different people, written by different people. All kind of have different humor, tones, things like that. So be sure to check that out. Obviously not sponsored, but just plug in that there real quick. I actually didn't start watching The Boys until season 2 was already completed and Steven was out of town and I had a couple of days off of work and I was just like, man, I need something new to watch, which is a place I always fall into because I'm very, very comfortable watching the same thing over and over and over again for comfort. And so I just wanted to get back to that place of watching something new. So of course, hence, I finally started The Boys somewhere around 2021. I binged the whole first season and then I watched the second season and I just remember just seeing moments where I would hear things that my friends would talk about or that the internet would talk about. And fortunately, I wasn't like spoiled by a lot of crazy things. And so I'm happy that the Boys community and the fans and just everybody involved, they're very, very good about spoilers, at least in my experience so far. And so of course with that, I was super stoked to know that The Boys season 3 was coming right to us in the summer of 2022. And since I watched the first 2 seasons so close that I didn't have to go back and rewatch, even though it's definitely rewatchable, bingeable, all of that good stuff. But everything was super fresh on my mind. So I was like, ready to go. Like, let's go. Give it to me. Give me all of it. And season 3 did not disappoint me. I know everyone has their varying opinions because after each episode, I would kind of like take to Twitter just to see what people were thinking. And sometimes I would kind of see a couple of opinions before going into episodes that were spoiler free, of course, for people that would see the episode. But I really enjoyed season 3. I had a good time. I know that some things changed in regard to when Amazon was uploading the episodes versus some things in the past. And obviously, like I said, this is my first time watching every week versus having all of the episodes available to me to keep watching. But with that, I haven't read the comic book series of The Boys, so this is coming from me strictly only having watched the TV series. So I don't know exactly what's different, what's not different. But I am adding it to my list because I do enjoy reading comic books and books in general. So The Boys has been added and I am going to be looking for them this weekend. Just kind of going through some of the stuff I like with the characters. I like the approach they took with Homelander where he's trying to really figure out who he is and who he is being challenged not only by himself, but those around him. They're not afraid of him anymore. And then he is afraid that they're not afraid of him anymore. So that there's this weird dynamic of like, well, if you guys aren't afraid of me anymore, then I have nothing left to lose. Like, if you feel like you can try to blackmail me, or you feel like you can kind of bring this stuff in from like the past seasons and, you know, this, that, and the other, then I have nothing left to lose. And I kind of like that Homelander because that's scary. We know that Homelander is this very powerful, crazed, deranged superhero, and I liked that throughout season 3 we get to see this unravel. Like, people talk about Homelander and people have called him like an onion, right? We just get to see those layers being pulled back piece by piece by piece throughout the entire season and honestly throughout the series, but we really get a closer look throughout season 3, and some of it will make you cry, and not cry because you're sad, but cry because you're scared. And I enjoyed that. That was a nice juxtaposition to some of the other things that were going on with other characters. And we get a deeper look into some of the other characters like Kamiko and like Frenchie. And I really do enjoy the stuff that they did with MM this season. And I know that we can't spend a lot of time with a lot of characters, especially for shows like The Boys, where it is a character show, right? You have these soups and you have these everyday folk and you want to know more about every character. And so I like that they're trying their best to give us more about everybody, because this was a big season for MM, considering that we do get this whole thing going on with Soldier Boy. And so I think in regard to that, like, MM had his moment to shine, even seeing more with that dynamic between him and his daughter and seeing how he what his approach is when he learns about Soldier Boy and things like that, and what he's willing to do versus how much of his humanity is he willing to sacrifice to go after Soldier Boy. You know, he's done so much with Butcher in the past, and I don't know, for me personally, I was interested. I know a lot of people weren't, but I definitely was interested just to see what happened with that, and they did not disappoint with us finding out more about what happens with MM moving forward. Of course, with that, you do have other characters that kind of fall into the background in regard to just there being so many people in such a big cast, like Deep, and they try to do a couple of things with A-Train, and you still have those people who show up in the season. But yeah, I think that everyone kind of had their moment to kind of have a piece of the story, but in regard to the bigger part of the pie, I think that they did what they could with kind of progressing the story and then answering some questions from the first 2 seasons, right? And then also just leaving some things open for us to explore in the next season. And I like that. I like that a lot. And I know one of the things that kind of drives people crazy, and that's the part of TV, is other characters not sharing information. And there is a lot of that in this season. And that's just me going into the script. And I will just add, all the actors in regard to the characters they played, they did a really great job with performing. They did a great job. Not at any point did I feel like I was watching an actor, which is kind of a thing that can happen with these types of shows. And I didn't ever get that feeling. I had a blast. But in regard to the script, there was a lot of, okay, but this person knows this, but they didn't tell them that. And I know sometimes we as audience members or like viewers were just kind of like, but just tell them this, just tell. And I had a lot of that, but it was all in good fun this time for me. It wasn't anything that was irritating. It was like fun, just kind of like seeing how long it would take this person to find this bit of information out, and you know, when were these 2 characters gonna meet, and when was this gonna happen, and when was this thing from like the first episode gonna come back, and stuff like that was great. And I feel like in regard to just the word payoff, they did not disappoint with payoff. Now, when you get to the climax of the season, I do feel like some things kind of fall apart, and some of it felt a little rushed to me. But there was a moment where I was sitting there thinking, man, this like action scene is like well put together. I like that this kind of feels like I'm watching a movie right here with this fight sequence and then this happening. But I do feel like the point for us to get there was great. And then some of the stuff while this like sequence was happening felt rushed. Like a lot of the pieces that were there just kind of went like whoop out of the window. And I know that some of that has to do with moral choices that characters make, and like they're human, so they make last minute decisions and stuff like that. But some of it was, I don't know if they would exactly make that decision right in this moment. Is this just more of a convenient decision for the plot moving forward, you know? So, you know, obviously for those of you who watched the season, you'll have to let me know what you think about that. But I do feel like some of it kind of came together quickly at the end, because the last episode of the season does spend a lot of time just kind of dissecting and building up and answering questions from the previous episode, because there was a lot happening in that second to last episode. Character development, I really do want to see more from Huey, and this is just me kind of backpedaling a little bit in regard to what do I want to see in regard to season 4. I feel like we got a little bit from Huey in regard to what he really wants and what he's really feeling in regard to how he feels about himself. And it kind of contradicts a couple of things in my opinion, but I want there to be another layer to Huey, because right now Huey kind of felt like he was just kind of coasting for a bit. And obviously that's just because of the decision that he made whenever parted ways with Butcher in season 2. And obviously season 3, things change. And I say parted ways with Butcher. They're still with friends with Butcher, but he wanted to try to do things a different way in regard to trying to take down Vought. And so I just want I just want more from Huey. He's very much giving me one note, and I need something else there. And obviously that's me picking on him, but I need something else there. We got that moment with Frenchie. We got it with MM. We got it with Kamiko. We got it with mostly the whole crew, even diving deeper into Carl Urban's Butcher. So I need something else from that character, Huey. With that being said, how would I rate The Boys Season 3? I would give The Boys Season 3 4 out of 5 geeks. I had fun with it. I watched it every week. I didn't miss a week. I'm excited to hear what you guys think about it. Like I said, I know there was just a little kind of push and pull with some of the decisions that were being made in regard to just the way the episodes were released versus just some of the decisions that were being made creatively with the characters and just the story. I know everyone wasn't exactly on the same page, but I had a good time. But let me know your thoughts. Feel free to kind of peek back here whenever you want to see what is going on here. I would really appreciate it. And until next time, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! And just before you go, guys, don't forget, I am still a part of the Audible Content Creator Program, and you yourself can get yourself a free Audible book. Just go ahead and go down to the link in the description, audibletrial.com/thegeek.